Hey, I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
And we're the Rambling Reviewers.
And we're here to look at The Legend of Korra, Book 2, Episodes 5 and 6.
Our continuing Korra coverage.
Oh yeah, I forgot the pun.
Yes, so
let's...
Stuff happened.
Stuff happened. So Bolin had a moment. We were complaining about that the last
Episode 5, Bolin had a moment, but Episode 6, he started turning into a douchebag.
Well,
Mike, Brian, what are you doing? Bolin is honestly reading like a bad bash fan fiction where someone says, "Oh, this character's awful, and they stink, and they are bad at everything, and they're just jerks when they get popular and stuff."
It's kind
What
of...
are you doing with Bolin? What is his point? I don't see a point to Bolin at all. He's not funny. He's not entertaining.
Well, I don't know.
He's not sympathetic.
I found some of his stuff kind of funny, but yeah, I would love for him to be more integrated in the plot.
Nothing he's doing
he's
affects anyone.
Well, he's like helping the propaganda machine against the North, but shrug.
This is worse because he's Earth. He's half Earth Kingdom, half Fire Nation. And yet he's playing Water Tribe, dude.
Well, yeah, that was supposed to be what's ridiculous on purpose about it.
Wait, really? I thought it was the fact that, whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, casting the wrong races has been trouble in the Avatar fandom before. Oh, wait, there was that shitty movie.
Wait, this is a bit different. This is not, let's make all the bad guys brown and the good guys can be white. This is a dude of a different... It's supposed to be ridiculous that he's Nuk Duk. It's supposed to be. So that's a different category of thing. So Korra and the gang go to Republic City to ask the president to provide military support.
And shockingly, if you are at all familiar with America's military practices after the year 2000, the president does not approve military intervention.
Well, this isn't the American president. That's what they should do. They should go to the American president, and they'll just be like, freaking bomb them, and then we'll bomb people.
Yay, bombs!
No offense to actual soldiers there. I just think we get involved in one too many conflicts. It's bad for the soldiers because they have to go into these conflicts all the time.
And it's my opinion that it's just bad for our international reputation, but we're not talking about America's international reputation. We're talking about Republic City.
Next up, the Legend of America. No. And how it came to an end.
No. See, that would be an awesome story. America's founding, except it's in the Avatar universe. Ooh. So it's like... it's the story of the Revolutionary War, except George Washington is this earthbender.
Booyah. All right. No, we're just playing.
Benjamin Franklin, the waterbender. No, Benjamin Franklin, not a bender. But Thomas Jefferson, waterbender. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the Republic City, can you lend us military support? And he's like, no, because I don't want to get involved in Water Tribe affairs. And
that makes sense.
It kind of made sense. Now, as I said to you, because we had a discussion after we watched episode 5, and then just recently episode 6 came out. What we're really lacking here is a sense of threat to the Southern Water Tribe.
We didn't see anything on fire, inexplicably on fire, since most things are made of ice and
we didn't
rock.
see anything melting. No, let me give you an alternative. What should be going on? The North conquers the South. We're freaking out about it, and then we discover they have this evil plan. Let's say they're gonna put the Southern people in chains, and they're gonna sacrifice their souls to some dark spirits as part of an evil plan, which will take over the world or something.
Of course.
I mean, that's cliche, but you can see oh crap, within
There's
2 full moons, they're all gonna die, and we have to fix it now. Because they are on death row.
Turn it down a bit. We're capping a bit.
Yeah, we're capping a bit. Sorry. Yeah, we're good. We're here.
Okay, so, see, but we didn't get that. The biggest thing we got was a couple soldiers squaring off with a couple civilians back in episode 3.
It was a kid who threw a snowball at them, and they're like, "Hey, you threw that snowball at us," and some guys are like, "Don't talk smack to the kid." And is this supposed to drive the whole plot? Because
we caught him bending tiny stones.
I know. riding rocks. I remember, yeah, from the live action movie.
Oh,
And the harbor is closed, but the only people we see suffering from that is Varric, who has a bunch of fish he can't sell. Like, wouldn't it?
Ooh, I mean, granted, if he's worried about how that could potentially cause disease and stuff, okay, but that was not anything he mentioned.
And disease would be a weird threat anyway, because it would infect the Northerners just as much, the Conquerors. But yeah, like, if they were running out of food,
the only person
like, only the Northerners have food and the Southern don't, you could be like, my family is starving, we need to do stuff.
Episode 1 managed to try to convey this sort of a threat with the messages that the Queen kept getting from her advisor.
Which,
Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh!
The Phantom Menace.
I was thinking of Korra Episode 1.
No,
I was
not
like,
Korra
what queen am I forgetting about?
Yeah, but still, when Star Wars Episode 1 does a better job at setting up how Naboo is in peril, you're not doing yourself favors.
Right. The guy who called in, the death troll is catastrophic. You must contact me, which is still very much off-screen. And, like, wouldn't it be great to see somebody suffering?
Yeah, but at least there we were getting someone saying there was a death toll, or that there was... catastrophic consequences to the fact that their planet was under blockade and droid armies roaming around the streets.
Right, yeah. That was... So we're not driving the plot well enough. So then you have Korra, who acts as if the scenario I mentioned is true. She acts as if there's a big threat, they're all going to die, something. And she wants the support right now. Why the hell won't you save my people? Which would be fine if they had established that. Now it just makes her seem impatient,
Yeah, Korra being impatient. I know, you're all shocked, right?
I know, it's like you get, okay, the North conquering the South is bad, I get it, but it's just not as strong as it needs to be.
We saw more resistance back in the last series for towns that had been part of the Fire Nation for generations than we did here. We had Jet and his gang of crazy people.
His gang, just call it.
Well, whatever. But we had Jet and his crew running around and being crazy and murdering people and shit. And here, we got the tiny pebble guy, but in the water tribe. I'm not really seeing the threats.
Yeah, there was a rebellion, we'll mention, that they try to capture Unalaq and stuff, but there wasn't the sense of it being incredibly necessary to have a rebellion, as opposed to the Fire Nation, which had clearly conquered everything and screwed with everybody's, rights and taken their stuff. And
exactly.
Killed a bunch of people in the war. Did anybody at all die in the northern conquering of the South?
And
I think there were 0 casualties.
Yeah, I think they just walked in.
I think they just walked in and everyone was like, oh, I guess that's okay, except now we're pissed off about it. If you're pissed off about it, why didn't you do something when they showed up?
Does the Southern Water Tribe not have any military forces or anything?
Apparently not. No, apparently they're just like, okay, here comes the North, we're cool with that. I don't know.
Oh, geez, it's like beating up on a toddler. It's just sad,
it's weird. So
now there's a resistance movement down south, which consists of
8 guys.
Almost 8 guys.
As far as we saw.
There could be a particularly mannish woman in there. I don't know.
There could be. You never know.
But, and again, where's Katara in all of this? You'd think that she'd be like, yeah, things are bad. I'm pretty much the most famous woman in the entire world. You should help. I have the ear of the Fire Lord.
Yeah, she just disappeared. She needs to be on a vacation or somewhere so we could be like, oh, she's not here. Put her on a bus. I don't know. It doesn't make sense that no one seems to notice.
And what happened with the dark spirits? Why are we not concerned about them again?
Because we opened the portal and apparently that's all we needed.
Except it's not, because we saw Korra at the end of episode 5 get eaten by a dark spirit.
Right, but apparently they're not bugging anyone else.
Okay, woo, it bugged one person.
I don't know.
Okay, so...
I don't know. So she goes to the President of the Republic, and they talk for all of 2 minutes. And she's like, help my people. And she's like, well, it's more complicated than that. And she's like, screw you, and like runs off.
You're an asshole. And then she tries to get General Iroh to go in and say, oh, yeah, we're having military exercises, hand quotes there, near the Southern Water Tribe.
And they're going to like run into the Northern blockade on accident.
And then we'll have no choice but to fight them. At which point the president shows up and he's like, what the fuck, dude? No, I'm your commander-in-chief. And he quite readily says, if you do this, I will court-martial your ass.
Yeah. I mean, I can get the idea of, okay, we're going to do a ruse. We're going to, subvert the authority of the president, and we're going to do like a blockade, running accident thing.
But here's the problem.
How are you going to...
The president looks entirely reasonable here.
Well, that's the first problem. The president looks reasonable because this is a complex thing and there is no direct threat. And maybe we can use negotiations or whatever. The second problem is, how are you going to pass this off to the president to make it look like this really was an accident? Hey, we decided to have training exercises, but just for fun, we decided to do it at the South Pole instead of the ocean right next to Republic City. And also, instead of, just the general area of the South Pole, because they're only guarding the harbor, we decided we really needed to do training in that particular harbor.
Yeah, so essentially...
It's basically... we
just felt like going several thousand miles out of our way.
It's OCD Steve. He really wanted to do training exercises at that spot on the globe, and we couldn't say no.
Well, actually, we were trying to decide where we were going to do our naval training exercises, so we started throwing darts at the board, and once we stopped hitting the middle of the continent, because after the lava boat incident, we really decided not to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And we clearly couldn't train, up by the North Pole or anything. No, it had to be that one specific spot in the South.
It's not plausible that he could have faked it out. It would be more plausible if he was just like, frick it, I'm overthrowing the Republic City government.
Yes, because overthrowing a perfectly reasonable person...
I didn't say it would make sense, but I'm saying you could understand what he was thinking a little more, if that's what he was doing. So it was just vague and weird, and then she's going to go off to the Fire Nation, which at least I was glad, okay, you are aware that other nations exist, and we can ask them for help, so there she goes. In the meantime, the Southern Water Tribe... sympathizers or people that have migrated from the Southern Water Tribe are holding a march.
Holding a march to say, hey, we kind of don't like being,
conquered. Which I kind of liked that, okay, so Republic City has settlers from other people that have a cultural interest in what happens to the South. I was like, okay, it's not completely isolated. Kind of feels like a bigger world. Mm-hmm. And then...
And they also showed protesters from the North saying, you guys suck.
Yeah.
Okay, where does this animosity come from?
Yeah.
Why does the North think the South sucks?
Yeah.
We never got any hinting of that in
what should have happened.
Even the last season.
What should have happened is the South is supposed to be spiritually decadent, right? Or they're spiritually bad, whatever.
Okay, spiritually decadent? I'm just imagining, spirits feeding the Southern grapes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so rich and decadent. Shut up, hedonism bot.
No, okay, but they're supposed to have lost their way. Let's suppose that, whether it's true or not, because it could be a trick by Unalaq, but supposedly the South has screwed up something in the spirit world, which has caused the dark spirits to show up at both poles, right?
Oh, yeah,
so
that would be
the Northerners would be ticked off, hey, you guys screwed up the spiritual thingamajig, and we're going to conquer you for our own good.
Yeah, we shouldn't have been draining the septic tanks directly into the hole into the spirit world. But in our defense, we're eventually going to get Ko.
Yes, we will.
Screw you, Ko!
Ko the Face Stealer. Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so also in episode 5, Varric starts listing out ideas for how we can do things.
I thought the brainstorming sequence was funny.
Okay, that was funny.
I think Varric has been a funny guy, and then he turns out to be evil, and was like, "Oh, don't make him evil."
But he basically points out to Asami what anyone could have pointed out. Yes, you can make money in a war, which.
Well, no, actually, it makes less sense than you think,
well,
because...
that's the other thing I was going towards.
Yeah.
Yes, you can make money by selling weapons to opposite factions. Okay, I can understand that. That might have worked during the 100-Year War when you had two massive armies trying to batter each other down with various forms of industry.
Right.
Like the Fire Nation had tanks, and so did the Earth Kingdom. But the only people who would be buying your mecha tanks and biplanes are... I'd say 8 guys from what last we saw who have no idea how to use these things.
Yeah,
in an environment that is pretty much considered sucky for motorized vehicles.
Right, and who has the cash on hand to pay for anything?
They might have like $5 in just whatever pocket change they managed to smuggle out of the Southern Water Tribe with them.
Right.
Yes, that's going to save future industries. The lunch money of 8 guys.
I mean, and how are you even going to make an attack on the South when you don't have any anti-ship weapons? This is, I'm thinking, okay, we got this tank. Okay, the tank is on a boat. The boat is heading for the blockade. oh, the blockade is shooting at us. What
I
do
mean,
we do? The tank can't shoot the boat from like a distance.
And we don't see any evidence of projectile weapons other than bows and arrows in this universe. So unless you're saying that all the water tribe people who got taken were firebenders or lightning benders and could just shoot from the tanks.
The water tribe people were lightning benders?
That's exactly why I was saying how ridiculous that was. But just, there's...
Yeah. I mean, look...
tanks are good.
Airplanes would work. We saw airplanes pwn boats before. That makes sense. But as I recall, she kept saying the word tanks. Like... And of course, airplanes also would have a training problem, yeah.
And also, Asami, why are you having trouble selling this? I would think that both the Earth Kingdom and the Fire Nation would be extremely interested in buying your mecha tanks or your biplanes.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since the tensions have been ratcheting up around the world. There's other nations going to war with one another.
Wait, are there?
Yes, the water tribes.
No, but, okay.
Aside
from them, are there other nations?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I meant aside from the Earth Kingdom and the Fire Nation, other nations, the other two out of the 5, are going to war and starting to upgun and stuff. You should be concerned in case this is Evil Steve's first step at conquest.
Yeah, I could see that. Unalak, yeah.
So why,
Why is that? I mean, I could see...
We could say that Asami just sucks at business.
We could also say her dad was imprisoned, and maybe people don't want to get in on that, and they're thinking that someone else will make better mecha tanks anyway, or something like that. Like, it's all sort of vague economic. But speaking of vague economic things, I realized just recently that no one else works for Future Industries, like on screen. She doesn't have a secretary. She doesn't have business meetings. She doesn't have a board of directors that she talks to.
In fact, she spends most of her time running around in the South Pole or with Korra. Maybe that's the real reason why the company's failing, because you aren't doing your damn job.
But, so this is the thing. When you establish a character having a role in which other people should exist, like, in a business, you have to see those people. Like, someone has to hand her some papers once in a while.
Varric has his secretary.
I do like Varric's secretary. Yeah, that's neat. His personal assistant person. But yeah, Asami doesn't have anything like that. And it doesn't feel real, It feels like they didn't think it through.
It feels like one of those bratty kids from a Saturday morning cartoon who's like super rich and occasionally calls up her daddy to get the team like a super awesome boat or something, but otherwise doesn't really show, what their company actually does.
Well, at least we know what they sell, but yeah.
Yeah, we know what they sell, but we still don't know
how it works internally.
Yeah, and plus, you appear to have the only car factory on the planet. Who's not buying your products? You sell cars.
That's true.
Well, we haven't heard of like any other. This is like dropping the Ford Motor Company back in time to the start of the Industrial Revolution and having them overtake everything, and not seeing any other evidence of anyone making their products, and them still failing.
Yeah, I mean, again, some credit for your leader went to jail, and that would do. But yeah, you would think they would spin off a company or just sell their products somehow. It's all kind of vague.
I mean, people keep saying that, various companies are evil and stuff, but we still buy products from them.
Yeah.
BP, we still buy their gas. Well, I try not to. But.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, that's a pretty good point.
I mean, they're called Satomobiles. Cars are called Satomobiles in this universe.
Yeah.
Created by Hiroshi Sato. Future Industries should be like the only people making these, and you're losing money?
Yeah, we should see more evidence first of our internal company bits, and secondly of external companies, and someone has copied their design, perhaps illegally even, but other pressures on her.
Is Cabbage Corp really that great at making cars?
Maybe they are. I don't know, but yeah, it's weird. So then, if we're continuing that business line, so I don't know how she's selling these things or whatever, but then it's our shipments keep getting taken, hijacked by waterbenders with bombs.
And you know what's interesting? No one really seems to be taking this super seriously. Like, they don't go to the president saying, yeah, a shipment of weapons of mass destruction, of tanks, of biplanes, weapons of war. Someone is taking weapons of war
Yeah.
And he's stockpiling them by stealing them from our company.
Yeah, that sounds like something to be concerned about.
Yeah, why
is that not a thing?
Also, why did Asami not say, okay, I'd like to hire like a whole bunch of people to protect these things?
Well, she did, and she hired gang members. Because apparently personal security, or private security rather, does not exist in the Avatarverse. There is no Blackwater that you can hire. Not that Blackwater is all that great, really, but moving on.
Heck, Team Fortress would do a better job at this than the gangsters did.
So then, yeah, she's gonna pay the gangsters in cars and stuff, and help guard this boat or help to catch the hijackers.
Here's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
They mentioned that one of the gang members had his bending removed if they work with them because they're friends with the Avatar. I'm going to let you think over how stupid what they did was. The members of the Avatar's crew know who you are. They know where you live, and the Avatar has the potential to give back your bending. Why would you betray your employers in that case?
Yeah.
That seems like a massively stupid decision.
Yeah. Especially, it was very easy for them to find the triads, wasn't it? Just knock on the door. Hi, guys. Or triple threats. Are they called triads or triple threats?
Yeah, triple threat triads.
I'm just going to call them triads. It's easier.
But, okay, why? Why would you... How much money are you getting... The only amount of money that I could think of that would match the cost of the Avatar not coming down of you like a frickin' meteor...
Yeah.
Is a boat made entirely out of gold.
It would probably be a poorly usable boat.
Yeah, but you could sell parts of it for like a shitload of money.
The idea of the scheme was weird too. Here's they're on the boat, and Mako overhears the guys kind of stupidly talking about, we were paid to distract those two. In what way are those two being distracted right now? Here they are on the boat, watching the horizon like anybody else. They were playing
staring at two-toed Slims. Hideous 12 toes. Although I did like the gangster interactions. Like the one guy, hey, when is this going to be over? What's the matter? You got a hot date? Yes, actually, I do. I wanted to get home and dress up and look nice for it.
Yeah.
See, that was legitimate human interaction.
That was kind of
nice. And Two-Toed Slim is like, yeah, I would be known as 12-Toed Slim, but there's already a 12-Toed Slim on the south side.
Yeah.
Okay, which brings me to a very concerning point. How common are these genetic mutations that cause extra toes or fingers?
They've invented radiation bending. But yeah, so, the idea is they're distracted because they're on the boat and people are going to go raid their warehouse, right? But they were going to guard the boat kind of anyway. I guess they weren't going to go if it was just...
Here's a thought.
Couldn't you overpower the two of them? It's just the two of them guarding the warehouse. How is that even a problem you need to deal with?
Here's the thing. It turns out that the triads were hired by Varric to do all this sabotage stuff. And Varric has been simultaneously pushing tensions between the North and South higher, as well as trying to get control of future industries. Here's the thing. If Varric is willing to do all this to get them out of the way and increase tensions and start a war and do propaganda stuff, why not just pay them to instead, okay, when they're on the boat, club them from behind, tie them to an anchor, and drop them into the bay?
Yeah, that could be a thing. Or, it makes a clearer version of the distraction bit I was talking about, because it was, let's say, okay, plan A is the two of us guard the boat. Oh, that's not enough people, we can't do that. Plan B is the two of us guard the warehouse, which they don't do night and day, so you just wait for somebody to go to sleep.
Why would you not guard a building entirely full of tanks?
Right. There's apparently, again, no one else works for Future Industries. They have no security. There's no night watchman on this place.
This is like someone walking in and stealing the Evangelions.
So plan C is, we'll hire the triple threats, we'll pay them in cars, and they'll come with us on the boat.
Gangsters are so reliable.
Now, plan C, what does this involve? It involves them and the triple threats going on the boat, and therefore the warehouse is unguarded. Yes? So, why does Varric need to pay the triple threats to do this thing they're going to do anyway?
Why not just... Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Have them all on the boat.
Just watch them as they... Look, they're going off there. I didn't even need to pay them. Boom.
And then have your water tribe people... take over the boat anyway.
Yeah.
Or sink the boat. Then the owner of Future Industries is gone forever,
right.
as well as the person who was digging down closer to who was the real bomber of the cultural center.
Right. And let's get to that.
And this would allow him to quite easily buy up vast chunks of Future Industries at bedrock prices.
Yeah, yeah. Or just steal it, which is his plan anyway. And then we're at the bombing of the cultural center. Which I felt kind of vague. Like, what is a cultural center anyway? But whatever.
I think it's like a community.
I know, but like I would have loved
like a museum or something.
I would have loved to see the inside of it at an earlier episode. You know, just briefly.
Is it an embassy? Is it a museum? Is it like
Do
a
they have like tennis
center?
courts in there? Like, I don't know. I would have liked to know like what this place is before they blow it up. But anyway, so it blows
There's
up.
a statue of Sokka outside, so maybe it's a school.
Lots of places have statues outside, but yes, it could be a school.
But the statues tend to be
scholastic. You think?
Fitting for what the statue is in front of, like
It's a boomerang throwing school.
Well, I mean, like the place where criminals are put, the prison. The police headquarters has Toph's statue because she was the founder.
Yeah, yeah.
The Cabbage Corp has the Cabbage Merchant out front. Zuko. What was Zuko's statue in front of?
I forget.
Well, it was in front. He was in a park, I think, which is like kind of dedicated to peace, which is what Zuko was trying to do.
Oh, well, there you go. Anyway,
and Aang's statue is outside of Republic City, which is his life's.
That's true. Yeah,
part of his life's work.
So anyway, so it's a cultural center, and it gets bombed, and Mako appears to be the only cop on the force. I mean, this is the thing. We see other people at the office. That's good, but we don't see anyone else on the beat ever.
Yeah, and we don't see anyone like more concerned about the fact that a major bombing happened in your city.
Right. I mean,
heck, with the Boston bombing that was just a few months ago, from our point of view, I don't know when this review is coming out.
Yeah.
But from a few months ago, when the Boston bombing happened, they shut down the city and they combed the streets looking for the guys.
Right.
They found him in less than a week.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and this. How often do bombings occur in your city that you're just so blasé about it?
Well, granted, there was a lot of crap going on in the last season, wasn't there? So I guess this is like small potatoes compared to what they had before.
But then on the other hand, considering what happened the last time there was this amount of activity and commotion and destruction, you think they'd be like, oh shit, the Equalists are back. Panic!
Yeah, you would. Yeah, why are there no Equalists?
Did they all just go away? Were there concerns like, I guess with Amon gone, all the benders are nice now? There are no people who would abuse bending powers.
I can totally see how the majority might leave the cause once their leader goes away. But you think there'd be a few like holdout factions or whatever. You know?
Even people just wearing Amon masks around town.
So anyway, so the Mako sees the two guys who are blowing up the thing, which. It was remotely detonated, yeah? That was the whole deal. They had a detonator.
Yeah.
So why are they so close to the scene of the explosion?
Maybe it's a short-range remote.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. But, so he looks at one of them, he gets a detonator from another one, and he spends the next couple of episodes being like, it couldn't have been the Northern Water Tribe, because they used a detonator.
Because Northern Water Tribe people are completely incapable of using technology.
Yeah.
Oh no! The car is spinning out of control. What do Northerners have like an anti-technology field around them? Why?
I mean, so
what made? Yeah. Heck, you could have done it. You could have picked it up and pushed the button.
Mako, you blew up the cultural center.
I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. Waterbending does not seem too ultimately destructive without vast amounts of water.
Yeah. So what would have made sense is if he had known already that, let's say, some company was making these detonators and was looking into it, and that company is not associated with the Northern Water Tribe, and you might be like, maybe something else is going on. But when you have no idea where the detonator came from, then it could have come from anywhere, including the Northern Water Tribe.
Maybe... Could even be the hobos who did this.
Yeah, they had a communication system last time.
Yeah,
which
so
granted was insecure, but still.
Which I still say was bullshit. That was totally Deus Ex Machina how they were able to break through a bunch of smelly hobos' top secret communications abilities. It was so unrealistic the way they just, we found out what the hobos were thinking.
Everyone knows that hobos have the excellent encryption schemes.
Everyone knows that the Avatar world just runs on the behest of the Hobo Illuminati.
That would be interesting.
Hobo Illuminati. Now there's a set of words I never thought I'd say together.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
and then Mako's like going all investigator, like you don't have anyone else looking into this. And then Chief Beifong was like, "Oh yes, Mako, go away. I don't care what your rookie instincts tell you." Bitch, this is a guy who helped save the city earlier from a Mon.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm sorry, he's a member of Team Avatar. That used to carry some weight.
Yeah.
I will grant, I like it in that, Mako isn't being automatically taken seriously just because whatever, but...
Just because he's main character type, yeah. But...
Exactly, but at the same time, this is Mako isn't known for exaggerating shit.
Yeah.
Or having a personality, but that's another problem with him.
I would love if his mystery plot had like more clues and stuff that he's picking up.
And maybe if the only other members of the police force besides Beifong, some random background extras, and Mako were, not Bulk and Skull.
Well, I'm convinced those guys are on the payroll of the actual.
No, they're not Bulk and Skull. Horace and Jasper. That's it.
Jasper.
101 Dalmatians.
Yep.
Wow, that is a reference I did not think I would ever make in a review.
But yeah.
We're obstructing a legal investigation that could possibly have gotten people killed.
I'm sure they've been paid off. Like that was my vibe from the beginning. Like those guys have been bribed. I get it. But yeah, it doesn't make Beifong look all that good. No, actually, because it's weird. Because Mako's suspicions aren't all that well founded, but at the same time, it also seems like Beifong is not taking him seriously enough. And what's really going on here is the entire mystery plot is too vague for us to grab at properly. Everything just feels kind of wrong somehow.
Okay, the thing people like about Sherlock Holmes stories, and I'm talking about the original books, not about the thing with Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever.
Oh, the new. I've heard the new show's good. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I
Whatever.
don't really have an interest in seeing it.
People love Sherlock Holmes stories because
Sherlock would be like, yes, I'm a genius.
And he was.
And he used like science and some guesswork, but science mostly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I recognize this dirt patch. It comes from this specific spot in England. Right. He memorized what different types of tobacco look like when smoked.
Right.
And for how long. He had a chemical laboratory.
Yeah.
He technically invented a chemical before the real world actually had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was a genius. This is not Sherlock Holmes. This is a bunch of idiots clanging together pots and pans and saying, "Oh, I'm looking for clues." No, this is Scooby-Doo.
This is,
except if instead of having Velma, it was another Shaggy.
It just wasn't well developed, is all I'm saying. Yeah.
And then finally, it's like, oh my God, Varric was the one who created the detonators. Oh my God, Varric's a businessman. It's inconceivable that he would sell these for a profit. Seriously?
Hey, yeah, wait, that's the thing, yeah. Because what if Eric is a good guy and he's just been selling detonators because he's loony that way, and he figures, oh, you need this for your mining expedition? Sure, here are them detonators.
And plus, on his set, they were being used for pyrotechnics.
Right.
I mean, fireworks are a known technology that has been around for a long time. Why not other people in the world buying Varric's detonators?
Yeah, or someone could have stolen the stuff from the pyrotechnic.
This is honestly like Mako walking in and accusing Walmart of being behind the bombings because the flashlights were from Walmart. I knew their always low prices gambit would be the death of us all. Okay, yes, the guy makes the detonators. Yeah. Big deal. He makes a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Did you blame Asami for... Oh, actually, I was going to use the mech tanks as an example, but that actually was a real example.
Sound was being a dick, yeah.
So only bad companies can create bad things?
I mean, okay, so in the defense, which is quickly becoming my catchphrase here, apparently. But in the defense, he does find Varric making a financial gain off of the future industry's troubles.
What? A businessman
No, okay.
making a financial decision?
But
Shock and amazement!
But you always look for motive when you're doing detective work, so he found the motive and the means. So at least Varric is reasonably suspicious in this situation. Not proven, but I could see him being suspicious. But yeah, it's still not as developed as you'd like, halfway. Not nearly halfway. So Korra goes off, and she finds a huge freaking dark spirit, which I would just love to know the rules on which these things work. Are they trying to conquer the world, or do they just show up once every 5 episodes to, like, we can fight them for a while? I don't know.
And what how do they work? What do they eat? What is their energy source? How are they getting into our world?
What are they motivated by? Do they really hate Ferris wheels?
Why are they here? Are they genuinely feeling wronged by something that happened in our world?
Right.
Or are they gigantic dicks like the Greco-Roman pantheon who would get their panties in a twist every time a mortal did something slightly competent?
Gods are afraid of competition.
No, they're afraid of competence. But
yeah, competition from competent because
Yeah, okay, whatever. But why? Just why the spirits? If these spirits are so common, how does regular life forms exist in this world if the spirits are so much more powerful and capable than regular life?
They're not common, actually, because they've only been showing up recently and once every few episodes. I did like how Korra goes all Avatar state and tries to calm the spirit using her super thing, and then it fails. I was like, oh, that's good. Thank you for that fail. And then she gets eaten.
That was awesome.
And now she has amnesia. And maybe she'll have some character development. Or maybe Aang will show up and be like, no more amnesia. Yay!
12 minutes almost 12 minutes. You kept us in suspense. Woo!
It's just such a bad ending at the end of the first. It again comes back to the fact that they only ordered one book at a time, and so the writers had to conclude their thing, and so they had it, they didn't want to conclude it on a sour note. But man, if this had been planned as a longer series, she could have lost her powers for like a good half season maybe, and it would really develop to get them back somehow.
And now Asami is making goo eyes at Mako again because she's so depressed because I couldn't be bothered to actually hire fucking guards.
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered to hire guards to guard my tanks.
Yeah.
I say this again. Tanks. If the United States suddenly had half of its tanks stolen, we would be up in arms.
Well, half arms, but yes.
Okay, well, half of us would be up in arms because we're upset that the government allowed tanks to be stolen. The other half of us would be up in arms because they'd be in the tanks.
No, I meant, arms means weapons. So if they stole half our tanks, we could only be halfway.
I know, I get it. Just
right. Yeah.
It's.
Instead, she gets into Mako's arms.
Yes. It's really sad, but on the way over here, I just had this thought, and it was really, really depressing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I have to quote Power Rangers here. Paraphrase it. Tenzin, this is the spirit of Aang. The world is in jeopardy. Assemble for me several overbearing and over-emotional humans. No, not the cast of Legend of Korra. Yes, that's correct. That's correct, Tenzin. I was afraid of this. But it's so true.
I mean, everything would work out better if it was better developed.
This would work out better if it was a sitcom.
Not exactly. But if there was a major threat to the South, Korra's impatience would make more sense. And if Unalaq had more of a plan that I could see.
Also, he starts out episode 6 just walking out of the spirit portal. And his kids are like, what were you doing in the spirit world? He's like, that's not important. Yes, that is important. What were you doing in there? Okay, I can think of several reasons why going into the spirit world is a monumentally stupid idea. 1, the spirit world is where Ko, the face stealer, lives.
Yeah.
2, there are a bunch of really scary spirits like Hai-Bai or Hei-Bei or whatever the panda monster was.
Yeah.
That are just generally, hair trigger temper and dicks. And 3, Ko the face stealer lives there.
Okay, well...
I know that I mentioned that one twice, but in my defense, Ko the face stealer.
In their defense, Unalaq is explicitly the best spirit tamer, or whatever you want to call it, like, in the world.
And in my defense, Ko the face stealer.
I just wish I knew what he was doing in there, and I get the, like, you want to have a mystery and sort of thing, but you want to get this sense that he's, like, gaining something, that he's got some sort of plan, that he's going to win something he wants, conquer the world,
We
resurrect
still don't know
somebody.
what he wants. Say what you want about the... I said this before, I'll say it again. Ozai, conquer the world. I'm on. Get rid of the benders.
Unalaq,
Yeah.
be dicks to kids who throw snowballs. That's and walk around in the spirit world for no
Explicable
reason just yet. I'm sure it'll give us more detail later, but yeah, it's just
We're about
vague.
halfway through this season, and we still don't know what the bad guy is actually doing. The biggest threat we have is that the people of the Southern Water Tribe are feeling minor
inconvenience. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but compared to glassing a continent versus minor inconvenience, I'm sorry, but The Last Airbender is winning.
Yeah.
The show, not the movie.
Yeah, the movie sucks in every way.
It gets fourth place in my list of Avatar shows. It skips third place entirely and goes straight to super last.
All right.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, pretty much. Did anything else happen in these episodes?
Yeah, Bolin is still a dick.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, he's actually starting to become a dick. But again, just do something with him. I don't care what you do, just do something. Well, if he's not going to be having an impact on the plot, then don't include him.
Yeah, everyone used to be involved. Whenever they showed up in an episode in the old series, they were involved in that week's plot very directly, instead of sort of biding time as Nuck talking. It was kind of funny, the really bad special effects and whatever, but it just wasn't contributing to the overall world. And we talked about how we need so much more depth in terms of what Unalaq's doing, in terms of Mako's investigation, in terms of Korra's doing. You could take out all the Nuck talk and put in this depth that we actually needed to these other plot lines.
Yeah, we don't care about depth for Nuck talk.
Yeah. And his thing with Ginger, like, I'm not really invested here, guys. Can we get back to the
he's not plot? Even really being a thing with Ginger. This is him being a creep towards Ginger. Like, I want to love you and kiss you. I don't want to do anything with you other than strictly business stuff. And then he kisses her anyway. So fuck you, Bolin.
I don't know.
Just guys, you have this incredible, amazing world with incredible, amazing things going on. Show us that.
Yeah, and what's the Earth Kingdom up to these days? You think someone would send a messenger over there? Hey, while Korra's talking to the Fire Nation, could Earth Kingdom send some troops down? Do you have any boats? That'd be great.
Heck, get messages out to the air acolytes. If nothing else, they should be good with negotiating.
Yeah, that's another thing that happened was we had a little more Tenzin and Milo trains the lemurs, which I'm sure is setting something up for later. And
I think it was like intended to show how Tenzin teaches and showing his teaching style.
Yeah, it was part of. I don't know how Tenzin's going to be in the plot upcoming though, and I am sure though at some point we're going to save the day with an army of trained lemurs. Milo's going to like blow his whistle. Flying piranhas.
Except, they're flying lemurs and not flying piranhas. This is the Avatar world. I do feel that is necessary to explain.
Yeah. But yeah, it's wasn't really a big thing. The world, give me the threat to the world.
So
and
basically,
the evil plot.
So basically, these are the same problems that have plagued the entire series so far.
Yep.
Except
we're just gonna keep pointing them out.
It's like Voyager. It never ends.
Well, it ends in episode 14. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think that's about it, though. You think so?
Yeah, just. Ugh. Watch Tron Uprising. It's a better show than this.
Yeah, Tron Uprising had so much more class, and people felt more real, and the world felt more in depth, and just everything made sense. I mean, more so than this, anyway. I could pick out tiny flaws, but like, come on, that was a much better plot, much better scripted show.
I think that's everything we have to say.
All right, then.
So I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
We're signing off.